Did Blackpink break a sales record, or did the Deadline album sell far more than expected? That YG keeps sharing the girls' album stock and packaging processes. Let me tell you, the reason YG is making these posts is not as innocent as you might think. And it's not about saying, look how many albums Blackpink sold, we're packaging so many shipments, we made such a great comeback. The real purpose is to throw shade at its biggest rival, Hybe, over its recent scandal. We woke up to yet another day where we're asking what is going on. So without wasting any time, let's start talking about all the rumors and developments. In recent days, the K-pop world has been quite turbulent. On one hand, Blackpink made a comeback after a long break with their Deadline album. On the other hand, documents that surfaced during the lawsuit between Hybe and Minheejin reignited the long-discussed sajaegi allegations within the industry. I'll explain what sajaegi means in a moment. Honestly, I learned about it for the first time too, and I was shocked. I swear they're dealing with things that wouldn't even cross the devil's mind. Blackpink's Deadline album was already a huge event on its own, as it was the group's first album released in several years. The album received mixed reactions online. Some people loved the comeback, while others said it fell below expectations. However, the sales numbers painted a completely different picture. First-day sales broke records, and all attention once again turned to Blackpink. But at that exact time, court documents related to the lawsuit between Minheejin and Hybe became public, and those documents contained very striking details. It was alleged that Minheejin rejected Hybe's proposal to manipulate album sales, in other words, to engage in sajaegi. Even more shocking, the documents reportedly included statements suggesting that some Hybe groups had benefited from this practice in the past. So what exactly is sajaegi, the issue at the center of this lawsuit, and the reason why YG Entertainment is seemingly making posts to take jabs at Hybe? Something that shocked me again and again. In the simplest terms, it is a method where albums are purchased in bulk in advance to artificially inflate sales figures, and then those purchased albums are later returned. On paper, sales increase, but in reality, that many albums were not truly sold. To help you fully understand it, let me explain with numbers. For example, imagine an artist makes their debut and only sells 20 albums. If we announce those numbers as they are, our artist would look unsuccessful and even ridiculous. Of course, we can't just lie and say that an album which sold 20 copies actually sold 500. But if we go and buy 480 more albums ourselves with our own money, then technically we have now sold 500 albums. We announce the data as 500 albums sold. We brag about it, say we broke a record, promote ourselves, and after everything is over, we return the 480 albums we purchased. In the long run, the album will naturally sell those 480 copies anyway. So in short, with a small trick, we can make our sales numbers look extremely high, show off, and do it without actually spending any money. In other words, according to Minheejin's allegations, Hybe allegedly purchases its own group's albums in bulk and then returns them afterward. In this way, the groups are presented in the media as having broken first-day sales records. To be honest, Minheejin is not the first person to bring this up. Similar allegations had previously been made about Hybe. However, this time the claims gained even more attention because they were discussed through court documents. By the way, in 2024, Kim Tae-ho, who is the CEO of Belift Lab, admitted to these allegations after company emails surfaced. He stated that some albums sold in 2023 were returned in 2024. Frankly, I was very upset that Hybe came to the agenda in this way because it has very successful groups under its umbrella, and all of their names end up being tarnished due to these allegations. For example, I don't think BTS would ever need something like this. When the boys release an album, I'm sure they easily break sales records on their own. But now many people have started to think, were all those records fake? So they weren't real after all? Anyway, that's not our main topic. You might be thinking, what does all of this have to do with Blackpink Kareli Kek? And that's exactly what I was about to explain. Right in the middle of these allegations, the album's distributor, K-Down4U, began sharing footage on social media showing the distribution process of Blackpink's Deadline album. These videos, which showed individual orders being packaged and shipped one by one, quickly went viral because many people believed the posts were a direct reference to Hybe. It was almost as if YG was saying to Hybe, look, our album sales are real. We are packaging and shipping each album individually. We're not creating fake orders. It felt like a subtle show, almost like a statement. What do you think? Do you believe YG Entertainment intentionally made these posts as a response to the controversy, or were they just ordinary routine updates? Write your thoughts. By the way, lately I've been uploading videos almost every single day. Don't forget to follow me both on Instagram and here so you don't miss the new videos. Because when something important related to the agenda happens, I might upload a video at a completely unexpected moment, and I really don't want you to miss it. Thank you in advance. Of course, another topic we'll talk about today is Blackpink's collaboration with the Korea National Museum. Yes, the girls held the Deadline album promotion at one of Korea's most important historical landmarks, Korea National Museum. This project was also announced announced as the first official and large-scale collaboration that Korea National Museum has ever done with a K-pop artist. The project began on February 26th and will continue until March 8th. Throughout the event, both the exterior and interior of the museum were illuminated in pink, Blackpink's signature color. In addition, special listening areas were set up inside the museum to promote the group's new album. The members of the group also recorded an audio guide for 8 important artifacts within the museum. Honestly, I would have loved to visit this place so much, especially because one day before the album was released on February 26th, they held a special preview event limited to only 300 people. Being part of that preview must have been incredible, but I'm sure I would have had almost no chance anyway because the tickets sold out in just 20 seconds. People had started waiting for tickets hours in advance. Maybe we couldn't go, but I'm going to tell you exactly what happened at that preview event before the album was released. You'll feel like you were there, so don't be sad. First of all, the 300 people were not admitted all at once. Groups of 50 were formed and each group was allowed inside one by one. When people entered, they saw a slightly different version of the museum than usual. In the museum's main lobby, in the monumental corridor known as the Road of History, a special listening area had been installed. On a giant carpet guiding visitors forward, the words "Blackpink will make you" were written. This carpet led guests to the central area where a digitally restored 8-meter obelisk was displayed. Around this obelisk, a seating area for 50 people had been arranged. Visitors sat there and had the opportunity to listen to all 5 tracks from Blackpink's Deadline album before its official release. By the way, those 300 people waited quite a long time because each group stayed inside for nearly half an hour. By the time it was the last group's turn, almost 3 hours had passed. The South Korean president and the First Lady also attended this preview listening event. They examined all the details one by one. After the album was released, the museum reopened to the public during its regular operating hours. On the first day, there was reportedly a huge crowd and people flocked to the museum. Honestly, if I had been in Korea and hadn't attended the preview, I definitely would have gone there on the first day. By the way, they decorated the museum so beautifully. It didn't feel like a classic museum setup, but at the same time, the design did not overshadow the historical structure of the museum. In my opinion, it was truly an excellent collaboration. The museum did not only promote the album, the Blackpink members also recorded audio guides in both English and Korean for 8 important artifacts displayed there. These narrations were released on Spotify in both Korean and English. Thanks to the QR codes placed in front of the artifacts, visitors could put on their headphones and listen to the stories and histories of the pieces in the voices of the group members. By the way, the artifacts chosen for the members to narrate were not selected randomly. For each piece, the institution evaluated which member was the most suitable individually, and the selected artifact was assigned to that specific member. However, a widely discussed issue emerged on social media regarding these voice recordings. Lisa did not record a Thai narration for the artifacts. On Spotify, the voice recordings were released in 2 versions, Korean and English. However, earlier, Lisa had been introduced as the member who would narrate the artifacts in both English and Thai. This was because it was considered a good idea to provide an additional Thai version for visitors coming from Southeast Asia. Visitors who went to the museum on the first day hoping to listen to the Thai narration were deeply disappointed. They could not find Lisa's Thai version among the recordings, and later they were told on site that the Thai version would be released in March. Honestly, I wish there had been prior notice or that all versions had been released at the same time, because many people who went there yesterday felt inconvenienced by this situation. Neither YG Entertainment nor the Korea National Museum made an official statement regarding this delay. Did you like the museum? What did you think about it? Don't forget to share your opinions with me. The agenda has been so intense lately that I've practically started uploading videos every single day, and I still have so many things I want to talk about, which is why I had to combine these 2 topics into one single video. Unless a brand new issue suddenly emerges on Monday, I'll be talking about the latest developments regarding the Cat's Eye group, because things are seriously getting chaotic over there. Are we talking about rumors of Manon making a solo debut, all the celebrities showing support for Manon, or the new details that have surfaced about Daniela? I mean, Monday needs to come quickly. If there are other topics you want me to cover, make sure to write them as well. I would really love to make videos about those for you. That's it for today's video. Please don't forget to follow me. I love you all so much. Goodbye.